Look at this, you guys. Isn't this amazing? I know that the squash vine borer has been here, but these varieties just keep rocking on. So if you missed the video where I talked about varieties that are resistant to the squash vine borer, then I will leave a link in the video description. You can go down there and check that out. And what is so fun about these also, I don't think I said in the other video, that is if you pick them when they're little like this, maybe a little bit bigger, then they're tender just like a zucchini. And you use them in recipes just like a zucchini. But if you let them get bigger and they're a little harder, they still probably could be used like zucchini, but a little harder, and it turns tan and it turns into more of a winter squash. So kind of like a butternut squash type appearance. So you can bring them in and you can store them on into the winter, which is really cool, because if you get too much of the regular type of zucchini, you have to eat it or give it away. There's not really a good way to can it or store it. But this variety, Zucchino Rempincate, that I got from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, I'll leave a link in the description. This variety, you can have fresh zucchini-like ones, and then you can have a winter squash store longer ones. So that's pretty incredible. I'm loving my tunnel trellis. Thanks to my kiddos for helping me get it. I love it. All right, so I definitely need to take this inside. I think it's big enough, and cook it up. Look at that, you guys. That's amazing. All right, but I'm here in the garden today to talk about cucumbers, not squash. So let me show you a little bit about cucumbers. Grow cucumbers, they need sunlight, but you know what? Look at these. Look what's happening here. Guess what? The squash vine borer likes them too. And they don't appear to like my squash varieties I'm growing, so they've attacked my cucumber vine. So that's why it's got plenty of water, but it just wilted. So that is the squash vine borer. But I've still got some left to be able to make pickles. So let's go make some pickles, you guys. Now, I don't really like cucumbers. I know it's the only vegetable I don't really like. So, but I do like pickles. So we are going to turn these into pickles. Now, we heard how good fermented food is for you. So we're going to turn them into fermented pickles. I've never done fermented pickles before, but my good friend told me how to do it, and I was intimidated at the thought of it, but it seems surprisingly easy. And she said it's pretty forgiving. So we're going to give it a try, and then we're going to have a taste test in a few days and see what our family thinks of fermented pickles. Join us. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is make our brine. So for every 2 cups of water, you can use between 1 and 2 tablespoons of salt. So I'm going to do 4 cups of water. And then I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of salt. So 1.5 tablespoons to every 2 cups. And I am using kosher salt that somebody gave me, so it's pretty fancy, but you can just use regular salt as long as it doesn't have iodine in it. Okay, we will let that dissolve for a minute while we pack our jars. So your jars don't have to be perfectly sanitized, my friend said. You can just run them through the dishwasher, because you need that good yeast and good bacteria to ferment your pickles. All right, so I think I'm going to quarter mine. Oh, I gotta take off the ends. Oh, and I better make sure they'll fit in my jar with a little bit of headroom. So I'm going to cut off a little bit more. Oh, I almost forgot. You need special pickles. Special cucumbers. You need pickling cucumbers. So this is what I used. Okay, so I'm going to quarter them. I'm gonna use elephant garlic, and I'm gonna chop mine because it is so mild tasting. But if I were using regular garlic, I'd probably just pop it in there whole. Okay, and then I'm gonna use some little bitty onions from the garden, and this is all from the garden, yay! I'm just gonna have those. All right, it's time to pack our jars. So, oh, one more thing. To keep your pickles crispy, you can use grapevine leaves. And my grapevine sadly died, you guys. I had muscadine grapevines, which are kind of like a weed, so I don't know what I did to them. But anyway, maybe I treated them too well. That could be. So I'm going to use oak leaves instead because they have tannins also, which keeps it crispy. So I'm going to put one in the bottom. And then also you can use bay leaves if you don't have oak leaves or grape leaves. So I'm going to put one of those in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to pack it full. I'm going to drop in some garlic in the bottom too. And I'm going to put in my spices before I fill the jar up completely. So I had to get dill from the expensive dill from the grocery store because I don't have any in my garden because it's Dallas, Texas, and dill likes the cool weather, so it's not cool anymore. In the garden is next year I will let my dill go to seed, and I will harvest the seed, and I will use that because I will have that about this time of year at the same time cucumbers are coming out. So I'm going to put seed in one, dill seed in one, and fresh dill in the other. I'm going to see which one tastes better. Chop up my dill. So I'm going to put some dill in, a good handful. And then I'm going to pop some onion in, onion pieces. And you can also put other spices in it. I'm going to do some yellow mustard seed. I think I'm going to try a 1/4 teaspoon of that. Because I have a friend that cooks really well, and she says, you always want to deepen the flavor profile. It's like for me, it's like a painting. The more colors and depths, and layers you use, the better the painting's going to look, the more depth it's going to have and vibrancy. Okay, and then I'm going to use celery seed. I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon of that too. And I think that was it. Yeah, so now I'm going to pack it full the rest of the way with pickles. And I'm going to try to pack it really tight so those pickles will stay underwater so they won't float. I think that's pretty tight. Let me try one more.
I don't think you're going to fit one more.
It's like Tetris.
Oh wow, you did it.
I did it. Alright, now we're ready for our... Oh, did I stick a bay leaf in there? I don't think I did. I stuck a bay leaf in there for taste, and then it's supposed to make your pickles more crispy. So I'm going to put another one. Well, maybe I can fit one more pickle in there, I think.
No.
I think I can fit
Don't do it. Mom, don't.
Oh, I did.
What the heck?
I did. Okay, perfect. I know I can't fit anymore. Okay. I'm going to give my brine a stir. And all the salt is dissolved. I'm just going to pour it in. I want it to come above the cucumbers. Oops. And then we put my lid on. It's a little too full. I probably should have left a little bit more headroom, but it's going to be okay, I think. So every couple of days, actually morning and night, she said to shake it, give it a shake, and burp it. Just open it up and let the gases out because it's going to be fermenting, remember. And then after about 3 days, you taste them and see what you think of your fermented pickles. So we are going to try them in a few days from now and see how everyone likes fermented pickles. taste test. See you guys then. Well, you guys, there's no reason for a taste test because my pickles turned out too mushy. So what I learned from this, though, they do have a really, really good flavor, but the texture is just not quite there. They're not crunchy anymore. So what I learned from this is to check them a lot more often, because we checked them after the first day and they were really good. They were still really crunchy and they had a good flavor, but they needed just a little bit longer. Probably like a few hours longer, but I left them like 2 days longer because it said like about 3 days, 2 to 3 days, but it's really warm in my house, and when it's warm, the fermenting process goes a lot quicker. So that's what I learned. Check them a lot more often, taste test them, and then also don't do so many. It's good to do 1 jar. I wish I had done 1 jar and then kind of see how long the fermenting process took till it was perfect and written that down, and then done some more jars. That way I would have known just how long to leave them, because it kind of was a waste. But I mean, they have a great flavor, but yeah, too mushy. So those are 2 things I learned. Check them more often and then do like a test jar of fermenting. But it was really exciting, and they really fermented like pickles, and I don't like cucumbers, you guys. So that flavor is really good. That's a really good thing to do with a vegetable that you normally don't like. And really good for you. So I would say it's a go on fermenting pickles.